What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and Back 4 Blood is absolutely blowing away expectations, so I'm here today to share with you the top 10 guns in the game so you can blow away the ridden. But first, join me over in Gemstone Legends. It's a fantastic match 3 RPG game, and it's players that get in early on games like this that are at the biggest advantage. Not only will you help the channel out by using the link in the description of this video, but you're going to get a free epic hero named Moralia along with a bunch of gold, gems, and potions. After you download the game, you'll have access to events which will get you even more amazing heroes and loot. Guys, wow, you don't want to miss this opportunity because you do not get it in the regular app store. Download it now, and I will see you in Gemstone Legends. Alright, so just a quick note about this top 10 list. I would consider every single gun on the list to be excellent. They're all A tier or even S tier, especially as we get towards the top. So you can be confident that if you run across a gun like this in the game, you should probably grab it because it's going to lead to some very good things. The only time you would want to replace a gun like this in the game is if you come across one that's even higher on this list. So let's start with the MP5. This is a fantastic little weapon here, and if you find it, it's a really well-rounded submachine gun. It's actually pretty powerful. It's got good range. The accuracy and handling is nice, and the mobility is fantastic. You can see the stat there at 100. So if we take this over to the range, you can see how it handles. Especially in short little bursts, it can be pretty accurate. And of course, it is like a close to medium range kind of gun, so it is going to do a little bit better closer up like this. If you are trying to shoot further away, you probably will have to use single bullets or like maybe just really tiny bursts. You can see the really far targets out there. It's having a hard time getting to. Now, another thing to note about this gun in particular, and maybe a little bit of a downside, is when it comes time to spray and pray, which is going to happen in this game, up close it's going to be okay. At like a medium range, it starts to get a little less accurate. And then from like a further range, and this isn't even that far, let's go down here. You're probably not going to be able to spray and pray the enemies far away. There are better guns for that. The AK-47 is up next at number 9, and that is because it does have a little bit better firepower and range than the MP5 we were just talking about. But it probably should because it's an assault rifle. So if we start out with one of the further ones, you can see it's having no problem reaching that. In fact, let's look at one of these really far ones down there. You can see we're reaching quite far down the range, but I am having to use like single bullets and bursts to get it. And it's kind of a challenge with this one, but you can see this gun's doing a nice job getting far away. And of course, it's going to be just fine up close. In fact, the handling is really nice when you have to spray and pray. Now, as we get to the further distances, if you have to spray and pray from far away, which you should probably only be spraying and praying from up close, it's getting a little harder to do it. You have to kind of push the nose down a little bit to try and keep it on target there. At number 8, we have the Ranch Rifle, and this one's actually kind of a unique gun in the game. I like this one, but it is going to take a little bit more of a unique playstyle. It's kind of got to fit you. But as you can see here, compared to the AK-47, it's got more firepower, it's got better accuracy, like a lot better accuracy. Better handling and mobility. It's kind of like a little bit between an assault rifle, which it's called an assault rifle, but it's also a little bit like a sniper rifle. Let me show you what I mean here. Now, I'm using these guns naked with no attachments or anything. They just get better when you add attachments, but like check this out. So the accuracy is just amazing, right? And if I had a scope on here, you'd really see this. I can go grab a scope in just a minute. The accuracy is really good on this, but this is semi-automatic, like sniper rifle basically. So when you need to shoot up close, you totally can. You're not gonna get the same kind of fire rate out of it that you would out of like the other assault rifles that are fully automatic, but at these medium and even longer distances, you can fire off a few rounds and hit your target. I think that's particularly important for the bigger opponents in the game. You're gonna have these like just massive monsters you have to deal with sometimes. Next up at number 7 is the Tech 9, and this is actually a sidearm, so you can take it along with one of those other excellent guns. And the reason I like this one is because it acts a lot like a primary weapon, even though it is a secondary weapon. Let me show you what I mean. Look at this, and look at the speed of it. It is absolutely fantastic. Look, it's doing just as well as some of those submachine guns. And I'm even hitting some at a distance here. Look at that. This is actually doing quite good at a distance. If I'm doing it in little bursts like this, I wonder if I can even hit. Let me try down here. I'm trying to hit that. Oh, we hit the really far one. Oh my gosh. And this is a sidearm. Now, you know in this game that sometimes you're going to have to shoot far and be really accurate. And sometimes you're just going to have to like try and blow opponents away up close. All right, this is a really great little gun to take and spray and pray if you need to. Just in a pinch, your primary weapon runs out and you just have to like unload like this. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely fantastic as a sidearm. At number 6, we have the M16, and this weapon, just like the Ranch Rifle, is also a little bit of an acquired taste because it does have that 3-shot burst. So if you're someone who can handle that really well, this is an extremely accurate weapon, and it's got pretty good firepower. The handling and mobility is good. So let's take it out here and I will show you. Now at far distances like this, if we can hit the target like that, you'll see just how accurate it can be. And I don't even have a scope on this weapon here. So like, this is going to be a great weapon early on if you need a lot of accuracy. But up close, as compared to some of the other weapons we were looking at, it's not quite as good. Because usually up close like this, you need to be spraying and praying and just like dealing a ton of damage to whatever opponents are here. But you can see up close, there's almost this like awkward pause between hits. So you are going to have to be really accurate up close, and that is not as easy as you think it is, because when those ridden are flying up in your face, they're all over the place. You're having to point this thing around, and it's so accurate at far distances, but like up close like this, it's not quite as good. But as you can see, if you take it out in a big open area, this is a very valuable weapon. Very, very, very valuable weapon. Now, if we even go over here and like, let's grab an ACOG scope, you're gonna see just like the power of this weapon here, right? Look how easy this is. That's cake. That's absolute cake whenever you put a scope on it. Now, this wouldn't be a zombie style game if at number 5 we didn't have some kind of shotgun. So the Super 90 comes in at number 5. It is, in my opinion, the best shotgun in the game, and that is because it is just an all-around great shotgun. It is quick, its firepower is huge, and its handling and mobility are really, really nice. Some of you might wonder, because there is an automatic shotgun in this game, which is just absolutely sick and amazing. It's a lot of fun, but you're gonna find that in the fast-paced and like quick pinch style of this game, the automatic shotgun unfortunately is just a little bit too wild and takes a little too long to reload. But let me show you what this particular Super 90 looks like as far as a shotgun goes. It can be really accurate at close range like this. Of course, it is not meant for those far distances, right? So you are having to run up and like shoot these guys in the face just like this. But you can see how well it's doing. And if you need to do it fast, you can do it pretty quickly too. Now, the reload on this is the downside, but the downside of the reload here is made up for being able to take out multiple opponents up close. So like the pellets that are fired, they spray outward, and sometimes you can take out like 3 or 4 ridden in one shot. Coming in at number 4 is the UMP-45, and it is the best submachine in the game, in my opinion. Now, I think the MP5, as far as submachines go, is pretty close, but the reason this one gets the nod is because the firepower is significant. And again, you're going to be using this gun mostly at close to medium range, right around here, and you want to be sure to kill the opponent. And so it's very accurate at this range, and it deals a ton of damage. Now, at the further distances, it is a little bit harder to hit, but as you can see, you can do it, especially in bursts. And when you're doing it in bursts or trying to do single hits, you can do a very good job at landing these. Let's see if we can even get one to land down the range a little bit. I'm not sure. It's a little bit harder to aim. The sights on this gun aren't quite as good as the other ones. In fact, I do like the MP5 sights a little bit better. You can see this is kind of thick and bulky, but look at that. We can fire it down the range and still hit. So it still is an accurate gun at far distances. Now, at number 3, we have a light machine gun on the list. That is an M249, and that is because this thing is just a powerhouse. Let me show you what I mean. At close range, at medium range, and let's see how it does at a further range. It's all right. But look at that. You're spraying and praying. So actually, as far as spray and pray guns go, at a further distance, this is going to be pretty good. Like usually at far distances, you're having to be kind of accurate, which is like where the M16 or the ranch rifle will probably be a little bit better. But you're going to have to spray a number of enemies at far distances or risk them running up and overwhelming you. So like if you do have to down the range, fire, check that out. That's the furthest target in this range here. And especially when I'm doing it in short bursts, I'm getting a lot of hits there. I'm really curious if I just spray how much I can hit it. It's a little bit out of control, but you can see I'm hitting it. And if the downfield is just absolutely overrun with ridden, well then you're gonna just be hitting all of them. It's okay, especially with some of those big bosses. All right, at number 2, we have the Scar, and this is a weapon I really, really like. I get excited anytime I see it on the battlefield, and when I grab it, I can, because it is just an all-around wonderful, wonderful weapon with great firepower, accuracy, handling, and mobility. And the range is really good, too, for being an assault rifle. Now, it should be better than the submachine guns and definitely the shotguns, but not quite as good at sniper rifles. But I'm going to show you here. If your opponents are up close, I mean, it does a great job, right? Like, it just fires the bullets so rapidly. But when you get to the medium range and you need to do bursts, it's doing a great job at that too. Let's go to a like medium far and see what that looks like. You can even see on this too, the sight is really good. It's like pinpoint accurate. Some of the sights on the guns are not quite as good, but this is my favorite sights on a gun because you can really, really, like without any scopes or anything, like line it up. Do you see that? That's like far down the range. And for an assault rifle like this, wow. That is so good. So it's a really accurate gun. It's got great sights. It's got great mobility, but there is one gun that's better than this one. And here we have the absolute #1 gun in the game. That is the M4 carbine. And you can see compared to the Scar, it's pretty similar. Its downside compared to the Scar, of course, is the firepower is a little bit lower. That's one thing I really like about the Scar. And the range is down a little bit too, so maybe not quite as accurate, but the range is still amazing. It's still 80 meters. Do you see that? That's really, really good. But the accuracy, the handling, and the mobility are up on this one. And I think that's what makes this gun particularly good, because in this game, Back 4 Blood, it's not all about sitting back and sniping the opponent. In fact, that's what makes the Scar really good, but the amount of times that you're going to do that compared to needing to just run through the map killing opponents as quickly as you possibly can, you got to favor that part of it. So the M4 carbine I like to take out there because, I mean, just look at this handling up close. You can do a lot of damage really easily. Oh my gosh, the bursts just feel so good too. I mean, this is a really easy gun to handle. And look at the sights on it. It's even better than the Scar because you have that little green dot. So just line it up and hit the opponent all day long. Now, I'm just curious. It's not supposed to be able to shoot this far down the range, but let's see if we can. Oh my gosh, look, first hits. Let's look at the really far one. The really far one. The Scar is supposed to have better distance. But look at this. I think that everybody knows that the M4 carbine is a fantastic weapon, but I think it's actually underrated because you saw when I was using the Scar, like that had really good sights and it still was not hitting with the kind of accuracy that this one's hitting down here. So, but like up close, spray and pray, like do it all. Like hip firing with this thing, also really good. I think the M4 carbine is probably the best weapon to start with in the game. Because you can just take it around just like this, naked, without any attachments or anything, and you're going to do a really good job. But then start adding attachments to it, and it just gets even better, right? Like, if we start putting sights on it, and the sights I really like. I like the reflex sight. I also like the hollow sight. That's a good one, too. Because you are going to sometimes need to do some of those, like, higher distance hits like this. And it's very good for that. But also, the reflex sight is good, too. That's one of my favorites. You know this from like playing Call of Duty or any of the other Battlefield games. Another just very accurate one. And then, of course, putting a laser sight on it in this kind of game is just going to be not only is it going to look badass, but it's going to work really well for you. Look, I don't even have to like look through the scope to hit these things like super accurately. I'm just downfield firing with the laser, and it's landing because this gun is that good. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like, subscribing, hitting that bell notification so you know when I drop new videos or go live, and I will catch you in the next one.